Hello everybody, welcome to Weekly Tech. In this video, we will learn about prototypes in JavaScript. So we will discuss what is a prototype, what is a prototype chain, and how a prototype of an object can be set. Okay, so the basic definition of a prototype is a prototype is a mechanism by which JavaScript objects inherit features from other objects. Let me repeat it again. It's a mechanism in JavaScript, and you can correlate this mechanism with the famous inheritance in other object-oriented programming languages. So it's a mechanism in JavaScript by which objects in JavaScript can access or can inherit features of other objects. So every object in a JavaScript has a built-in property which is known as prototype. Okay, so if I console this object, let me show it to you. So if I expand this prototype object, I can see a lot of properties inside this, but I can see another property which is named as underscore underscore proto underscore, which is the prototype of this object, which is, and this object is the prototype of our my object. Okay, so I'll clear it in the end. I'll clear every confusion. Okay, so if I expand this object also, I'll get another property underscore underscore proto underscore, which is null. So the end will be null. That's how prototype chaining works. So you just simply keep one thing in the mind, that if I have object A, an object B, and object C, object B has been created by using object C, and object A has been created by object B, then C is the prototype of B and B is the prototype of A. Okay, so whatever functions that is there in B and C is accessible to A, but whatever function that is inside A is not accessible to B, but whatever functions that are inside C is accessible to B. Okay, so the reverse is not true, and it will end at null. All the properties of A is not available to B and not even to C, but B can access only C's property. So when I declare let today equal to new date, and if I do today dot get date, and if I print it, I'll get 29 because today is 29 March. But how this get date is working? I haven't declared anything inside today. So all this get day, get full hours, milliseconds, get minutes, these all functions are part of the date constructor. We haven't declared these functions inside today object, but still we can access it by using today dot the function, and this is working because of the prototype chain. Okay, and if I want to see the prototype of this variable today, I can simply do object dot get prototype of. So it will, this function will tell me who is the prototype of this variable. So I'll pass this variable here and I'll simply log it. So I'll get a constructor which will have all this function. Okay, so this is the prototype of, so again, as I said, prototype is also an object. So I get an object in the output, and this object will have all these methods defined. Date constructor is the prototype of this variable today, and we have seen it by using object.get prototype of the variable, and inside it I have another prototype which is object.prototype. Okay, so this is the last, or this object, I can say this object is by default assigned to every object in JavaScript. Okay, so if you console any object, or if you create any object and you console it, you can see this object attached to the prototype of that object. So by default object.prototype is the default prototype of all the object. Okay, and then you can increase the prototype chain inside it, then you find null. Okay, so it will stop till null. So when you do a today dot get date, JavaScript engine will first try to find get date inside the today object, and if it is not there, then JavaScript will go more deeper into the prototype of today, which is the date constructor, and it will try to find out the get date function over there. And if it is not there, then it will go more deeper into the prototype of the constructor, and it will stop till either it will find the function, or if it is not, then it will return an undefined. So if I do a date like this, I intentionally put two more e's in the end. So JavaScript will try to find a function inside today, and if it is not there, then inside the date constructor. If it is not there, then the property, then the prototype of the date constructor, and if it is not able to find it anywhere, then it will simply say it is not defined, or you'll get an error. Okay, but if I do a get date, it can be seen in the date constructor. So if I define a get date function inside today object, what will happen? So I can do like this, today dot get date, and this is very dangerous, guys. I'm doing it just for the sake of demonstration. Don't do it in production. So if I do get date dot, and I simply say something else, so what do you think, what will be the output here? So today dot get date, so JavaScript engine will try to find out get date first in today object, and if it is there, then it will use it. It won't go any deeper, so we'll get something else in the output. Okay, and we are getting this undefined because we are not returning anything from the date function that we just created. So instead, if we, so instead of consoling, if we simply return this string, we won't get undefined. Okay, I'll get something else in the output. But it is very dangerous, and one should not do or change the existing functions or existing properties of the prototype in JavaScript. Okay, so we have so many methods in JavaScript to declare a prototype of an object, but the most famous two methods are using object.create and using a constructor, and we'll see both of them. Please let me know in the comment section if the earlier section is not clear. We'll discuss more over there. So let's move ahead with object.create first. So you can use object.create to assign the prototype of a newly created object. So you can do it like this: let Uday equal to, and we can use our person prototype here. So person prototype is nothing but an object which is having a function inside it. So I can assign an object as a prototype of an object. Again, I can assign an object as a prototype of an object. Okay, so I can assign this person prototype as a prototype of this Uday object. Okay, how can I do it? Object dot create, and I can pass the person prototype here to be as the prototype of Uday. And if I do a Uday dot greet, it will work. Okay, and if I do a hello in the, and if I do hello, I am this dot name, and please note I haven't defined name in person prototype. Okay, but I will assign Uday dot name here. Okay, Uday dot name will be equal to Uday, and when I do Uday dot greet, this will work. Okay, because now if I console Uday, so I can see a property named Uday which I defined. Okay, Uday dot here, and inside the prototype I can see greet. Okay, which we just created by using object.create. So let's take it more further. As I said, it will first try to find greet inside the object. If the function is or the property which we are trying to access is not there in the object, then it will try to find out. The JavaScript engine will try to find out it in the prototype. So if I declare Uday.greet like this, if I do it like this, and if I simply do return not from prototype but from obj, and if I do Uday.greet, then what do you think, what will be the output? Let's see. Not from prototype but from obj, because JavaScript engine will try to first find out the greet inside the object itself, and we have declared it. Okay, so let me just try to log the object itself. If you can see, we have the greet function sitting right in the object, so it won't check in the prototype even. Now let's come to the next method, which is, and let me comment out this code. So the next method is using a constructor. So every function in JavaScript has a property named prototype. I'm repeating it again. Every function in JavaScript has a property named prototype, and to show it to you, let me create a function. Okay, so function person name, and this will be simple, a constructor function, this dot name equal to name. Okay, and if I do console.log of person dot prototype, so I can see our object, and we can use this property of the constructor function to create or to set the prototype of an object by using the function as a constructor. And I will set person.prototype equal to this object. Okay, so now when I do let John equal to new person, so this person prototype object will be set as the prototype of John object. So let me repeat it again. Every function, and this is especially related to function, so every function has a property which is named prototype. Okay, and we can use this property which is named prototype to set the prototype of a object which will be created by using the function as a constructor. Okay, so we are using this property prototype of the function person to create or to set the prototype of a object John, which is created by the function as a constructor. So John will have a prototype, and this prototype will be the person prototype object. And if I do a John, let me console it, John dot greet, so when I run it, it will give us hello, I am John. And again, we are not returning anything. So if I, instead of consoling it, if I return it, it will be more easier to understand. Okay, so if I run it again, then I'll get, okay, I need to use return. Let's try again. Okay, now we are successful and we got the correct output. Okay, again, I want to summarize whatever we have learned till now. So every object in JavaScript has a built-in property which is known as prototype, and it is not necessary to be named as prototype. It can be underscore underscore proto underscore underscore, and it depends totally from browser to browser. And this property is itself an object. Okay, and this object can also have a prototype, so we can have a chain of prototype, and that's how objects can share or can access the functions of other object. And the next, we have seen how to set the prototype of an object. We have used two methods. One is object.create, and there we have seen if we declare a function right inside the object, then JavaScript engine won't even try to find out the same function or the same property inside the prototype. So every function in JavaScript has a property named prototype, and we can use this property to set the prototype of the object that can be created by using the function as a constructor. Hope it is clear, and please let me know in the comment section if you have any doubt. We'll discuss it there. Please like, share and subscribe. Please let me know if I miss something and if I am wrong somewhere. I would really like to discuss it in the comment section. uh, Please like, share and subscribe, please guys. Thanks a lot. See you in the next video.